Well, we've got the Robin Brydone team are playing Yellowstones this evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening everyone, and welcome to the 2019 Mercure City of Perth Masters, coming to you live from the Jurors Centre here in Perth, Scotland this evening. I'm David Hay, and with me is Alan Chalmers. We'll be bringing you live coverage of the match between Brydone, local team from Perth, and Klima from Czech Republic.
Good evening, David. It's Alan here. I'm looking forward to this game. I believe these teams have not played each other previously, so I'm expecting quite a good tussle in this one.
So the Scottish boys are led by skip Robin Brydone, third Craig Waddle, second Gregor Cannon, and at lead Derek Sloan.
And from the Czech Republic, their skip is Lukas Klima, with Jiri Sandra playing third stones, Marek Chernovsky and Samuel Mokris at lead.
Should be a good game tonight, Alan. I think they're very evenly matched, the two teams.
Yeah, I think so, David. Both mid-ranked on the World Curling Tour rankings list, so expect this to be quite tight, I think, overall.
Line's good.
Robin Brydone's team won the draw shot challenge to win last stone at the first end. Always good to get that, Alan, in a A10 game. This will be their first game of the year, obviously, for these guys, fresh after the new year.
Yeah, testing out the ice, obviously. They're testing out their slides. They probably had a couple of weeks off where they've not had an awful lot of curling. So good to get the hammer and take control of the game maybe early on.
Derek Sloan just slipping a little bit too far into the rings, giving Samuel Mokris a chance to remove this stone.
Set, fine. Yep.
Czech Republic playing the red handled stones.
Yep. Yep.
Looking to play an out turn, trying to remove the yellow stone from play and roll behind the guard, just rolling a fraction too far.
It's a very quiet weight he played there, David, just to get things going. Just didn't maybe throw it quite as hard as the skip expected and over-curled, but it's rolled to the back ring.
So Derek Sloan looking for roughly the same weight again, playing the out turn draw.
4. Yep. 4. Hard line. Hard.
Super shouting down the numbers as the
3, 4.
their estimate of where it's going to come to stop.
Line's good. Hard, boys.
Working this one hard. They're going nicely round the guard. Whether they've got the distance to get it to the rings.
Go, 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 go.
Well, they did shout 4 early on, and 4 is normally just the biting the top of the red circle, or the house as we call it in curling. Comes up a little short.
Little short, gives the Czech team some protection.
Marek Chernovsky, second player, 25-year-old from Prague.
Co potvrzenej. Spinne fine.
Trying the out turn draw round. Trying to get behind Derek Sloan's yellow stone.
Whoa, niet down.
Very good weight, maybe just slightly over-iced. Perfect weight.
Yeah, wasn't far away. Brydone got a wee chance here. Make a wee hit and roll off this. And behind cover.
Double cover.
Weight's good. Touch down. Yep. We're quite a lot down. Hard. Whoa.
Gregor Cannon
Yep.
throwing second stones for Robin Brydone's team.
Hard.
Makes the hit, doesn't quite get the roll. It's just again, they called earlier the weight was down lower than they maybe first wanted, which allowed the stone to curl off and not get behind the double cover guards.
I like that weight.
Just getting a feel for the ice, first few stones, finding out how it's going to react.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well,
Faster you throw a curling stone, the less curl it takes, the straighter it goes, and you can control the line of the stone. The more sweeping they do, the more it continues at the same momentum and also runs straighter.
Marek Chernovsky throwing an in turn. He's trying to just tap the yellow away, maybe get a little roll behind those cover as well. He's played it nicely.
Normally in Perth Island there's a lot of curl in the stone in the last 3 or 4 metres, especially when the weight's down like that, and both teams have underswept the last couple of shots, just allowing them to roll into the open.
Yeah, stones do finish with big curl in the last third of their running, I think, here, just the way the ice is prepared, the way the surfaces are prepared.
Hard line! Really hard line!
Gregor Cannon looks a little light.
It looks very light to me.
Whoa! There! Whoa!
Yep, not the start he was looking for. A little bit slack. So, Czech Republic are a good chance of putting Brydone under a bit of pressure and at least forcing the one at the very
I would say
very
so. I
worst.
think they might have ambitions higher than that, David. I think they've got a good chance here to get a few stones buried in here before Robin will have a potentially tricky last stone.
Third player, 32-year-old Yuri Sandra.
This one looks like it's maybe just curling too much, underthrown as well. So both teams just struggling a touch this first half of the first end.
Yep, a little let off for Robin Brydone there. He's got a chance to. Both the Reds are behind the tee line, which obviously is going to make it fairly easy for them if they can get in behind cover here.
If you keep this one at the front of the 4 foot in behind what are now 4 guards on the left hand side, it would certainly put a bit of pressure onto the next player down for the Czech team.
4, 5.
Craig Waddle,
Yep.
23-year-old from
Hard line.
Hamilton in the west of Scotland,
Line's good.
trying to
Hard, Gregor, you got it. Line's good. Hard,
work this one here. They're working really hard in the
Sweeper.
brushes to try and keep it straight and keep the weight right. Does look a little bit light.
Light as well, but he's reduced the count, but not necessarily made it very easy yet.
Really good sweep. I kicked one of the guards. No, I don't know if I moved. Okay, no problem.
Very good sportsmanship there from Lucas Klima. Gregor Cannon saying he touched one of the guard stones out front, and in curling if you move a stone it can be replaced. But Lucas very sportsmanly said, no, it doesn't matter.
Insignificant amount of movement, probably not changing his planned shot here.
Já jsem jenom malinko větší. 3 plus. 4.
Again, the Czech Republic boys working this one hard.
Yeah, just looking to guard up, I think, a bit more this time. They've happy with a 1 that's at the back of the 4 foot.
Okay. I might have kicked it, yeah. Sorry, thanks.
Okay, there's same thing happened with one of the Czech lads there. Just touched the red stone, I think it was, with probably one of his feet as he was kicking to sweep.
Good.
Robin accepted there had been maybe a larger movement on that one and decided to pop it back a couple of centimetres. I think no more than that, and will have no bearing on the end.
So for those that don't know in curling, if it's a static stone that's moved by
5.
a player, it's replaced to where it was, and if it's a moving stone that's touched by a brush or by any part of the athlete himself, it's removed from play.
Head down and go.
So Craig Waddle try another out-turn draw around here. Line's good if they've got the weight. Comes up short again.
There's they're just going to have to watch the clocks. These will be taking split times in all the stones that are running down, and just once they get one maybe running to the tee, they'll have a better idea what those times are.
Ale, když ho necháme tady, tak je to OK. Ale on tam teďka jel takhle, což je i to, co si hrál tady. Tohle by mělo být OK.
Lucas got to be a little bit careful here. He doesn't want to set up a double by hanging out. He's going to try and come half round this or half check it in front, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Perth team have got second and third counters. So he, again, as David says, just make sure that doesn't leave Robin any big shots for anything more than a 2 come the last stone.
Skip Lucas Klima's first shot here at the first end. (27-year-old from Prague, currently ranked 110 in the World Curling Tour rankings.
Já se nevejdu, Marko! Já se nevejdu!
Pozor! Pozor! Jiří! Jiří!
Tak jo!
Jiří, jo!
Jo, Jiří, jo!
Pojď! Výborně, hra! Pojď!
They've worked it well getting it round down. They're going to try and get it in out of sight. As I said before, you don't want to set up a double takeout here and bring the yellows into play, and I don't think he's set up an easy double. It could possibly be there though.
Yeah, Robin might just be able to get this quite thin, I think, and maybe come across the face of the back red one, touch it back and bring both his front 2 yellows back into play. But it does look a bit tight. It looks tight to me.
I think Klima was just trying to come up and lock onto the yellow at the front of the 12 foot there, but just slipped a half a metre too far.
It's pretty tight, but I think we've got to give it a go.
Yeah, I think so. Leave it a clean packet. Yeah.
Well, Robin just verifying what we're saying. It definitely is fairly tight, but he hasn't many other options.
Got it, mate.
Robin Brydone played for Ross White's Scottish team last year in the World Junior Championships, losing the final to Canada.
Oh, I think it just touched it, David. Didn't need an awful lot more of that back one, off the front one rather. I think he touched the shot stone.
He was very, very unlucky. He definitely did. He just moved it back 2 or 3 centimetres. Now a big call here for the Czech Republic team. Are they going to come round on the out-turn? Out-turn being the counter-clockwise rotation. He could also come the in-turn there, Alan, and draw right round, but there's been no stones down that side to give him a line on.
Yeah, I think they looked at that one just briefly there to see whether there was a shot there. He's maybe going to leave that one for Robin. Say, well, you take the gamble on the new ice. We've not been down there. In the meantime, I think I'll try and put this at the top of the 4 foot, top of the 1 foot on the out-turn and make it difficult for you.
Well, you know, he had a perfect line in his first shot. If it's another metre of running on, he was out of sight. There's so much curl at the end when the stones come into the top of the 12 foot.
Set up! Jo, málo místa, jo, Jiří! Jiří! Málo místa! Málo místa, jo! Pojď, málo místa! Whoa!
They're just trying to get the line and the weight right here. It's a little bit wide, I would say. He's got to be very careful not to set a double up here. Yeah, well, the weight was nearly perfect. He hadn't swept as much. He was good, but he had to try and get the stone to curl behind the yellow for protection.
It's probably just come in far enough, Dave, to take off the double. Robin forced to take his one, hopefully, by putting this one right into the 1 foot circle.
I think if you're similar, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
20 through, it's nice as well.
Yep, he's got backing here. From a skip's point of view, not the hardest shot in the world, just can afford to be up against the red.
Back 8!
Looks tight line, like.
When Robin's not competing at this level, he's the curling development officer for Kinross Curling Club.
Really hard!
Got his Sweeper's working hard again on this one. I'm not sure that's going to reach the tee line.
I think it's not going to get past his own yellow.
No,
It's
it doesn't look like it.
a little bit light away.
So probably 4 of the Scots 8 stones there, all thrown in the same rough area. But, unfortunately, that wasn't what they were looking for. They needed to be another 4 or 5 feet on each and every one of them.
No, it was a poor shot, and it's a big start for Lucas Klima and the boys from Prague. They'll be delighted with that. To steal 2 at the first end is a big start to the game.
Oh, it's probably a fresh line.
Team Klima has been in the shadow, I guess, for the last maybe 10 years of David Sick previously, and then Yuri Snurtle coming through on the Czech team. They seem to be the dominant Czech teams in all the times I've been watching curling. So it's good to see new teams coming through. These guys are a new formation this season, but have travelled the world. They've been to Shanghai, they've been around Europe, and getting a few games under their belts now and performing well.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. The 2 Czech teams, Snittle and Sick, have dominated Czech curling for all the years that we've seen them. Last 10, 12 years at least, they've been the dominant 2 teams. But these guys are a good bit younger and on their way up, which is great to see. So you look to put his red stone onto the centre line, but again, it seems the first end, Alan, is a little bit tight and it slips off the line. It's really important to get the leads stones covering that centre line.
Yep. That one's ended up maybe what we might call a mid-length guard. It's neither a close one to the rings, nor is one just over the blue hog line there. It's a mid-length guard. It's quite difficult for the team then to attack behind that.
Yeah, it's not a great shot really. It's given Team Brydone basically a free corner guard here.
Good, Derek.
Derek Sloan getting his weight better this time. Remember the first 10 he slipped into the rings, which made it fairly easy for Klima to hit and roll across. He can't hit this one, so it's playing what's called the 5-stone rule, which means you can't remove a stone from play between the hog line and the front of the house until the 6th stone of the end.
That one's just got that little bit extra running. It's not curled as much. It's going to slip to the back, if not through, just to the back. So just overcorrection. No threat to Brydone team there at the moment.
You can just tell they're a relatively new combination, the Czech boys. Their communication is not too smooth just now. There's a lot of unclear communication going back and forward from the skip to the players, and the more experienced teams are a lot more under control.
Creek. 6. High Creek. Hard. Keep going.
Yeah, that's a good shot by Derek in there. He's got it, if not in for a shot, he's well buried behind his own guard. Just as we saw in that flash by shot there, the yellow guard is covering it very well, and he's in front of the tee as well. So great shot by Derek there. Just sets up the end completely differently for the attacking Brydone team.
Complete contrast from the first end, Alan, when he was a little bit off the line and the weight. Scots boys off to a dominant start at this end.
David, you and I both know that lead stones have always been very important. Do you think that even more so now with the 5-rock rule?
100%, Alan. Yep, I think it's one of the key positions in the game. If you can get the end set up properly, makes a huge difference to the tactics the skip can employ for the rest of the end. You think back to the previous end where Derek's first stone slipped into the house, then his corner guard wasn't in the right his draw around the guard was short as well. It just gave the Czech Republic an easy start to the end. It makes a lot of pressure on the skip. So I'm like you, Alan. I think the lead is without question the most important guy on the pitch.
If the lead doesn't play well, quite often the game is unwinnable.
The fact that you and I both play lead does make a slight influence on this thought. Nice shot. Well played, Gregor.
To je 5.
5.
I missed the signal at the end there. He was tapping to freeze onto the one at the top of the forefoot there, but I don't know if that's actually what they're going to go for.
That was certainly the call. He was asking Marek Janowski to come right round here on the freezing top. He's trying to reduce the scoring area right now. He's in a bit of trouble. Team Brydone lie 2 yellows in behind the guards. They don't want to bounce off this. That's what they're saying to the skip. It's got lots of weight. Just want to make sure we get the line right here.
Get the line. It's probably just going to bounce if it just glances. Barely touched it.
I think at the end they were trying to get it past Alan.
Yeah,
they
I think
realised
so.
it was wide and a little heavy.
Or there.
I like this.
Roll away, I think. Yeah, I like that.
Robin indicating
Yeah,
to
same way as I played here.
play an out turn, hack weight, push the red back and roll across to the left as we look at the screen just now. Gregor Cannon, former world junior champion, played with Bruce Mowat.
Yep. Touch more. Yep. More mark. Hard.
Hard, Craig.
Hard.
This
Keep
looks
going.
pretty tight for line, I would say here, Al.
Go, 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 go,
Yeah,
go.
saying keep going, which means that it's probably going to hit something that they don't want to hit. First of all, that's an absolute bonus present for the Czech team there.
Yeah, they were maybe trying to be a little bit too clever there. They had the game, they had the end in their hand there to play a little bit safer than that. They're just trying to be too clever and tap it back with a perfect weight. You can afford to put a little bit more weight and just, even if you didn't hold the shooter,
Absolutely.
take that right out of there.
Take that one and possibly the one behind it as well, which would have opened up and still been left lying 2. I think maybe just a little bit greedy too early in the end there.
3. Go. Go plus.
Tady.
Go.
Tady ho chci. Je dobrý. Marek umí.
Yuri Sandra got a chance to really turn the screw on the Brydone team here now. A couple of good guards.
Pokračuj, pokračuj.
Robin's going to be faced with an uphill battle to score at this end, never mind take us 2.
Czech Republic boys may think that Christmas here is on the 3rd of January. Alan.
30.
Okay.
It's amazing how quickly the end can turn. We just said
Yeah, 2 shots.
2 shots ago we thought that the Team Klima had game control of the Team Brydone had control of the end, and it's turned round completely. And now they're on the back foot, having to use shots to open up the guards at the front.
Yeah, 8 end games here in the city of Perth Masters, and it's a long walk back if you lose the first couple of ends. Don't have much time to recover those early shots. So just a single peel there as well, which isn't quite what they were looking for. They were expecting to take off both guards, open up both hands. Just a single peel.
Both Kyles.
Be interesting to see what Robin Brydone does after this next shot. If the Czech Republic put another guard up, will he decide just to come round and try and get into score?
Úzkej,
Dva plus.
úzkej. Samuel, úzkej. Málo místa.
There's only 3 Scottish stones to come after this Czech stone, so
Bude dobrý.
stones are running out.
Dobráci. Nůžka do kůželčí. Yep.
Oh.
Promiň, trošku uší jsem byl.
Já, pohodě.
Yeah, you're right, David. I thought he might have a go at just peeling the guards one more time, just the way they're lying. But
How thin's that?
Robin's originally called the tap back.
Are you going going down?
If he hits that first red stone out to the left of centre, over the face of the red, and he drives the second red back into the one on the button, he may have a chance of clearing a lot of reds here.
Yep, either one on the button or the one behind it, which...
But if you're talking about risk, this is high risk. You're 2 down the game. Don't make this, you're leaving your skip in a whole pile of trouble.
Hard, Robin. Hard, Robin.
Excellent shot from Craig Waddle.
Yeah, he's done well there. He's opened up everything. I don't think he's quite necessarily got that one away from second shot, but the target area that Robin has now left himself is much, much wider than it was before that last one by Craig Waddle. Excellent shot.
Reds definitely lie one, but it's very difficult to see whether it's the red or the yellow is counting second. Probably favour the yellow slightly, but it's hard to tell.
A docela jsem točili tak. Jo.
Well, he took on the risky shot and he got the reward, so it was a well played shot from Craig Waddle. It was really important he moved the one off the button. That was one that was causing the problem.
Yeah, that was the scoring one.
Budeme hrát free z toho žlutýho. Může být malý ťuk, ať jsme na jistoci. Je to rychlá stopa, oni byli 5-7, ten kámen, co tam je.
Máš tam na tom kameni něco?
Jo. Takže dílka je to 5-6.
Dobře.
Not got many options this one really, does he? He's got to put it touching the top of the head foot possibly.
Yeah, a bit like the last 10, he's got to be a little bit careful not set up a double here.
Yeah, just at the moment it's one in a measure.
Yep. He's just got to watch here, because if he touches this yellow at all, he'll definitely be lying one unless the shooter rolls in off it. Not bad. Definitely lies 3 now. Moved the yellow across out of the scoring zone, and reds lie 3. But if the Scots boys, if Robin Brydone makes a double off this and rolls across, you'll lie 3 second shots and put a bit of pressure on Lucas with his last one to make sure he either guards up or lies 2, and he'll be trying to lie 2.
Yeah, I think Robin will just be trying to take this double, maybe roll his shooter across to the middle.
Just control.
Yeah, we take on over the top, yeah.
I think so. Just want, as long as you roll on top of the other one, you're guaranteed your 2 almost. If it doesn't make a shot,
important for Brydone to retain the shooter in play here.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as we move it enough so that the yellow behind the corner lies second.
Robin Brydone's first shot at the second end.
Yep. Weight's good. Control.
Derek Sloan trying to keep it straight.
Good. Whoa. One go this way.
Gets one, jams the second one.
Could have left it for that way, but don't get the curl that much. Like.
Lies shot.
That lies the shot, so he's asking a small question of Lucas Klima. He'll hope to just bump that one through and maybe roll across the top of the 1 foot.
The key thing from Al, as long as he's not tight and doesn't lock on any of the back reds, he's, a nose hit. Even if he takes the left hand of the reds out, it still lies 2, and it'll be difficult for Brydone to make a double on them, the angle they're sitting at.
Yep.
Nehodil to rukou jinam?
Ne, hodil tomu zesky. A metli ho vypadalo to, že ho metou jako brzo. Jenom na konci to vlastně nepokračovalo. Že začal točit a pak ho přemetli.
Okay.
Whoa. No.
27-year-old lawyer from Prague, playing his last shot. Oh, Alan, would you believe it?
Well, what's he left now? He's lying. He's only lying one shot now.
He was a little fortunate there, I can tell you. Could have left him, Robin Brydone, a wide open hit for a 3 there. He just caught the wide yellow to stay in. So, after all, the ups and downs of the end, Robin Brydone's got a wide open tap back to score 2 to square the game.
Fire in the nose for 2.
Yeah, just a little heavy with that last one. I think the Europeans tend to just play down weights for their strikes and things like that, and I think probably just overthrew that one a touch for the ice that he took. End up with some collateral damage at the back of the rings there, which left Robin this hopefully quite straightforward tap back for his 2.
This opportunity was all set up by Craig Waddell's second shot, where he came down and took a double on the guards and moved the one off the button. Seemed pretty happy with it.
Controlling it onto the nose. Yeah, good throw.
Lovely shot. 2 yellows. Robin Brydone scores 2 to square the game at 2 shots all after 2 ends of play. You're watching live coverage from the 2019 Mercure City of Perth Masters, coming to you live from the Jurors Centre in Perth, Scotland. And you're listening to David Hay and Alan Chalmers.
That's just that firm hack where we're going for.
Yes, good game so far. Neither team perfect, which allows us plenty of things to talk about.
Tight guard.
Both teams attacking, so plenty of stones in play. So let's hope they keep this going for the next couple of hours or so.
It's good though.
And we're delighted to bring you today's coverage of the 2019 Mercure Perth Masters curling from the Jurors Centre in Perth. We're proud to be part of the World Curling Tour. Today's coverage is brought to you with the support of the World Curling Federation. An event such as this would not be possible without the support of our long-standing title sponsor, the Mercure City Mills Hotel Perth, in association with Perth Kinross Council, Perth Honda, Earnside Coaches, Live Active Leisure, the World Curling Tour, and of course the World Curling Federation.
Just haven't played there.
So back underway, the third end.
Sorry,
Derek trying to probably play his guard a little bit closer to the rings in that one. He's dropped it just over the hog line.
1 plus point is on the centre line, but it's way short of where he was hoping to be. It'll be a 50% shot really, and if you're scoring the game. Samuel Mockrish is trying to throw the in-turn corner guard up here. Looks pretty good.
Okay, it's top 12. Short's fine.
3, 4, 6 feet.
I got you 30 in that one.
Chance here to maybe put a second guard on, in behind the first guard. In a straight line, makes it difficult for the Czech team to take any double takeouts later on in the end.
3, 4.
Way only. Room. Got room.
3.
Easy. Gregor.
Trying to get them perfectly lined up, so making a double difficult. Good shot.
Yep, good there.
Gregor. 15-3.
Those double guards down the middle put the pressure on Mockrish here to get a good one in play. He doesn't really want to come in behind the centre tape so early in the end, but 2 good guards by Derek Sloan. He's up out the slide on that one. I think he's maybe underthrown that one or thrown it inside.
Yeah, he knew straight away he wasn't happy with that. I think he was just tight of line for the minute he let it go, and light.
So advantage Brydone at the moment. He's trying to steal. He's got guards everywhere.
Get Derek, I think we're going to take right there. Only 15 on, I think.
So, can Gregor Cannon make the in-turn draw around here? First time we've used the side of the ice iron, we'll use the out-turn the whole of the first end.
I think they said that with Derek's first stone actually, that the timings were not consistent just because it was a fresher line on the in-turn here.
Easy.
We can't touch it.
Sweeper's a bit wary on this one.
Starting to curl a lot now, but it's a little heavy. It's going
Just
to
a
go
little deep.
Back rings.
Sorry. That was 13-7.
So the boys are saying the weight's 13.7. That's 13.7 seconds from hog to hog, which means the ice is probably about 14 and a half seconds if you're going to put it tee high.
Gives Marek Czernovski a chance to maybe take off some of the front cover now. Turn some defence on.
Not what he was after. He was looking to put the yellow onto yellow and drive it onto the back and open the front up, and he's really done nothing to help his skip there. But he's given Brydone a good chance to play another in-turn draw round here.
Yeah, if you can just take 5 feet off the last one, stick it to the top of the 4-foot circle, it would be a pretty good position for Team Brydone halfway through the end.
Hard! Hard! Yeah! Go! Hard!
Just line.
There's a big curl here when it starts to slow up. Watch this go now, moving from left to right.
Hard, get it here!
A clockwise rotation on the stone. Look at that curling behind there.
Yeah, good sweep on that one. The guys just acknowledge each other's efforts on that one. Great sweep to get that one that far, I think.
That's the difference. That was a 14-7 in the second one, and a 14-7 in the first.
That was just a much better throw.
Yep, again the boys are talking about the speed of the ice.
Maybe just pinched
You see that was 14.7 seconds hog to hog, and the first one was 13.7. That's about right. That gives you the difference in the weight.
Yeah, and as you said earlier on, David, communication absolutely vital all the way through the team, top to bottom. Although Brydone is a new team as well, some of these guys have played together for other teams in the past. They're comfortable knowing each other's throws and the split times.
You and I both play in Perth Allen. This is our home club here, and we'd call that but the normal speed for this club. It's normally 14.5 seconds hog to hog for a tee-high draw.
Similar to the first end's good, I think.
Yeah, I had to slide out this morning with one of the other teams that were looking for some practice, and it felt pretty much the same as Wednesday night Super League for us, David.
Here early, yep. One.
Craig Waddle trying to throw a guard here. Covers on 2 yellow stones.
One.
Again, working this one hard.
Over and up, over and
We're
up.
very lucky here in Perth that we've got Paul Martin as our head ice technician, with his brother Phil and Craig, who do a great job in providing first-class curling facility.
Yeah, I don't imagine Paul was out too late on Hogmanay trying to get the ice ready for this important event on his calendar.
Yep, this is one of the biggest events we have in the city during the year for curling.
Backline. That's it.
So Yuri Sandra trying to repair some damage here, but again, I don't think this is exactly what they were looking for. He's awful close to this yellow.
Well, he moves the guard off the centre line, but it really wasn't what they're after. It's given Brydone another free shot here.
Want to hear more?
They'll want it, this yellow stone, no shorter than halfway between the hog line in front of the house, because there's so much curl in the ice that if you're as short as he was the last time, he gave the Czech Republic a chance to come round. They didn't make it, they were tight for their line.
Yeah, I think the line call's a lot better this time, just depends on the weight now. Trying to get this to fully cover the centre tape.
Perfect shot. Perfect shot. They've just left a fraction of the yellow stone showing in the house, but not very much.
Room to come through this gap, possibly at a quiet strike weight, yeah.
Certainly tempting.
Roll in behind one of these red corner guards.
Yari Chandra's second shot here, hoping to.
Sweepers are right down on early. This one looks like it's really gone.
I tell you what, it could actually be so tight he's going to tap the yellow in, or is he going to go past it altogether?
It's so tight he's going to cross the face of that one.
And he's not only done that, he's tapped the centre guard across to cover up the 2 short stones.
Yep.
Don't really want to bump
As I
this.
said, sweepers were down almost before that one was out of his hand. They must have been looking at their stopwatches,
Easy weight.
As long as you
realised
like
he was
it,
under the
don't
gun,
bump it,
and down they went.
As long as you don't bump it to the hole. That's what I'm saying. Yep, I like that. That same control weight, because you want to go roll flatter.
I mean,
Tricky for Robin here. There's lots of things to do, but he's obviously trying to enhance the situation.
Okay, you're tied without last stone. You're lying 2 shots with the centre guard on.
Do you ever draw?
I'm not sure what the Reds can do with that stone there.
Do
It's
they
not
like
really in
to?
play as far as I can see.
Yeah, I'm just.
Out turn, draw around the between the 2 Reds,
Yep,
and in
I
turn,
think-
draw to lie 3.
Yeah, I think there's lots of other better shots than this one, I must admit,
It's
David.
quite a
This,
flat roll, so we're going to play controls.
this has got to be
If we bump our yellow,
played
it's got to
perfectly. If he
bump
only
this
half
side,
rolls,
so
he's going to
we're
leave
going for
probably quite a simple double for Lucas.
Yep. The question of this one is, what are you going to change about the game? How's it going to put more pressure on your opposition skip by playing this shot, even if you make it perfectly?
Hard!
Sweeping hard. I think it's probably they're holding it well now. Well, now if he gets a roll in,
Yeah, no roll off that, Alan.
yeah, nothing there. So he's given Lucas Klima a chance here. He can get out of jail a little bit here. There's a double on those front 2 now, which would leave you 3/4 behind that centre guard.
I think if it was Robin's coach, we wanted to know what the theory behind that shot was, how they saw that improving the situation.
Abych zůstal u Freezu, no. Ale...
Yeah, lying 2 behind a centre cover, but none of them really very threatening. One's in the back ring.
OK. Nemám problém s doublem. My můžeme být lepší, když to trefíme.
Quite a thin double this, however. I think he's probably hitting a third of the stone.
9?
Ne, budu hrát normálně 7.
Yeah, I would say it's very thin. Probably a quarter of the stone, even just needs a slight glance off this to make the double.
7. Jako ten freeze by byl lepší, ale já to neumím úplně uledovat a ta díra je dost malá na to. Trefujeme ho docela málo, ten úhel není moc dobrý.
Aha.
Lucas Klima's first shot, the third end, game tied at 2 shots all.
Yep. Málo místa, jo. Jo.
Looks like he's a bit tight of line now.
Yeah, that's not helped the situation at all. I wonder whether the other hand might have been easier. Never a big fan of trying to play a strike across a stone. I'd always rather try and come from the outside of that one into it. So you're kicking in towards the centre
even
tape.
like,
How does it score
even
one if
here.
they're there?
Yep.
make him go wide, like.
Probably right here. Give Gregor that to get to centre.
Robin trying to
Gregor's in here now.
block the line into the 4-foot circle by placing a stone there, which will only
Right there with the good throws close.
Lucas Klima with 1 shot, the out turn draw between the 2 Reds to try and get to the 4-foot.
Call less now if you go a bit more.
Yeah. Come in side by side, but I don't mind the guards. I think this is a good call as well.
Even like just fully in is alright.
Yeah.
As long as we're kind of covering the draw path rather than just,
Yeah. So I was probably this wide, was it? Not quite.
No,
so
you're
This
not
is
this
definitely wide.
You're more like middle 12, just outside.
oh, yeah, it's another 8 feet slower than probably first end. Throw for top 12 first end though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Robin Brydone's final stone, the third end,
Close for tight.
trying to play an in-turn guard to
Touch narrow.
block the route to the 4-foot.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
The biggest problem here will be keeping out to the left, as Craig Waddle's saying.
Yeah, if it starts to curl in now, he'll still leave the corner of the 4-foot open on the in-turn.
Take a seat.
Just dragging on. Pretty good there. There is still a line to the very, very corner, just as where Lucas is tapping his brush. He's going to have to thread the needle a little bit.
Not an easy shot, because if you come down here a little bit light, it pulls a lot at the end, a lot of curl from left to right. So look at the screen just now.
Yeah.
They'll have to employ the same technique as Robin Brydone did and sweep it early on to try and hold the stone out and then let it come down at the end.
Domet Libyho 4. Takže
You're guessing the weight here.
Yep. So flat draw, T-line weight. At least try and cut them down to 1 would maybe be his secondary objective.
Final stone. This is the third end. 8-end game.
Čekej, čekej! Čekej! Jsme v gardu, ne.
An end that the Scottish team have really dominated.
Čekej taky! Furt jsme v gardu.
Is he inside the red? He's very close.
Pretty good
There
line.
goes now.
T-line. Čistou T-line.
Je to T-line.
Super.
An outstanding shot.
Super team shot as well, because they called the weight early. As David said, they swept it the first half to get the stone straight. Once they were happy with the weight, lifted the brushes and off it went. Perfect weight. What a super shot.
So at the end of the third end, Lucas Klima and his team from the Czech Republic lead the game at 3 shots to 2. Stole 2 in the first end. Brydone bounced back with a 2 in the second end. And then Lucas Klima played an outstanding draw there, facing 2 Scottish stones to score as 1.
Cool, let's do it. The whole seat's just not quite as slick as we thought it might be.
Ale jestli na to nechceš myslet, já to budu věšet klidně.
Jdeme hrát draw. Může být guard. A už jdu hrát. Jo.
So as the teams settle on the hack, ready to start the fourth end. Just to remind that you're watching the live coverage of the 2019 Mercure City of Perth Masters, which is coming to you from the Jurors Centre in Perth in Scotland. I'm Alan Chalmers, assisting David Hay in the commentary box tonight.
Been a good match so far, Alan. Both teams had opportunities and both made a few errors, which given their opponents a chance to score in the game.
Yep, that looks like that's the best lead guard that we've seen so far. It's about 2.5 feet outside the front of the circles. Good attacking position for the Czech Republic team.
I got a bit hot. 3.
Line's close.
3. I were really tight. 3.
Way only.
Supers both agree this one is maybe just a little bigger than the first what we're expecting, but sitting down nicely now.
Yep. Good.
Šest,
Malinko slabší ruka.
8,
Buď u něj, Marko.
8, 9.
Vůbec.
Je to velký.
Vůbec.
Samuel Mokrish
Trochu.
playing his second stone,
Furt je do tý plus, podle mě.
trying to in-turn draw in the centre guard.
7 plus.
Je někde na
Line's
nohou,
good.
Vypadá, že brzdí.
All depends on the weight here. Doesn't want to slip behind the tee. Yeah, not bad. Not too bad.
Good start by Samuel this end.
Similar to that passing
28-year-old
stone, I think.
software developer,
Way
also
through
from
this one,
Prague.
coming this way in the last end.
Interestingly
Yeah, I
enough,
think
one of
6
the
feet.
Scottish boys is also a software developer, so they may have rival companies, or they may have something in common. We'll find that out at the end of the game.
8, 9.
Close.
7.
Derek Sloan
7, 8.
playing his second shot at the fourth end,
7. 8.
trying to make a perfect freeze onto this red stone. Doesn't want to bounce off it.
Don't want to touch it.
Got a little bit extra rotation. This one, just holding it a bit straighter.
Harness, quick. Harness.
Just gonna feather it. Nice shot.
Okay.
He'll be a little disappointed because he's better being short there, Alan, than heavy. He's a little bit heavier weight. He was back of the 4 foot
Yep.
weight, just bounced off it. Now gives the Czech Republic a wee chance to play a hit and roll off this. Out turn, tap back.
Bart!
Jo.
Bart!
Yes, here, jo.
Boys working it hard to try and keep it straight.
Yep. Working it very hard.
Curling a long way. Oh, just rubs the guard.
Hele, 12,60.
Again, he had the weight, so either began to curl too much or he's a fraction inside it, because I think if it's anything, he was heavier than maybe Lukasz Klima had expected him to throw it rather. So,
quite interesting out to the second and third players for Klima. Both appear to be consistently tighter on the out-turn rotation, the counter-clockwise rotation. Same at the last end, they caught the guards twice there.
Got room.
So maybe Marek and Jari have got to
A load of room. Craig.
be a little bit careful going forward with that.
Let me just ask for a few more inches ice. If they're consistently doing that, then it's maybe not how they normally throw it.
Right back.
I'm not getting it there.
But these ice conditions are maybe just catch them out.
Leave it high. Top it. Top it. Top it.
Robin trying to bring the corner guard back into play again, having last stone, but didn't really get the result he was looking for.
Three quarters hidden in behind there. Marek will try and come down, tap this one through, roll back across towards the middle.
Getting to important stage in the game now, heading to the midway point after this end. And you just get the feeling if one of the teams can string a few 100% shots together, they could dominate. But each time they just keep doing half shots.
Both sweepers going in this. This one seems to have taken the curl again. Rolled off it the wrong way, really. Not quite what that team were looking for. They were looking to bring back stones back to the middle.
You can tell by Jari's expression that he's not too happy. How come that drew as much, he's saying. But I don't think he was wide. They were sweeping all the way down.
Yep. Hard line.
So Gregor get a second chance at laying a good
boys.
counter in behind what will be staggered corner guards now.
Hard is good. Keep going. All the way.
Going to have to work this pretty hard. Doesn't look very heavy.
Again, he's not the weight required. Another let off for the Czech team in which.
This is the point I was making, Alan. You know, if Gregor makes that draw in behind there, then all of a sudden that Jarek Sandra's facing a bit of a problem. Now it's exactly the opposite. He's got a free open hit to lie 3.
Straight single hit.
One up in the game.
Fine. That's it, ball. That's it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Okay.
Not bad. Not bad. A little bit more roll he's after, but it's not too bad.
Away with throwing.
There's still a red centre guard just off of picture.
Normal. Normal.
Just a couple of inches to the right of the centre tape, which you can't just quite see. So
because you're needing to hit what 3/4.
Craig will have to come in.
Sticking it the double at that if you throw less.
Maybe slightly down weight.
To me that looks like Mark was.
What?
That's a lot of ice.
Oh, I think it was Max.
Well, that's for a bit less.
Here.
Just nice normal, Craig.
Good communication from the boys. They're chatting to each other and discussing the previous shots that their teammates have played there and how did their stones run, just to try and get the ice exactly right to make the double here.
Oh! That's right.
Sorry.
Who lies, Alan? Looks like yellow lies.
I'm favouring yellow. I think I think he was hoping just to touch the back red on the way by.
Robin.
Open up the scoring area a little bit, but didn't quite get that right. But I think yellow still lies. It's behind the red guard that I was talking about. So yellow lie 1. Yuri's the old guy in this team. He's 32. He's an ice maker in Prague. So makes his living out of curling.
Boy's working it hard to try and get it round the guard, but he's going to rub off the centre guard.
Měl si pravdu a neposlouchal jsem.
So Robin's problem here is that he's got to try and get the red one at the back of the 1 foot circle away to make it easy to score his 2.
Probably just need to draw in for shot, second shot.
Well, the thing I thought was pulling the one you just played.
Without setting up a double takeout.
It's not a bad call. We've got loads of time going, have a quick look.
I quite like that call. Well, my first call was move that one.
My first kind of thought was that. Do we ever just play that? Yep. No? What, off that? Yeah. It's pretty thin. The other option, what's he playing? Right now, if we go here, what's he playing?
But how are we scoring 2 there?
Well,
he's coming there.
If
you go there, he's coming there. That's all he's got. And then if you come round the back way, he probably goes there anyway. Or he's running.
Right, coming in here. That just makes that easier, doesn't it?
If you ever stagger them, it's a disaster.
Do you ever move it?
I don't mind like peeling it, and if you.
What weight are you throwing at this then?
Peel? No?
I think if you want sticky, you probably got to throw less.
I don't mind throwing peel, I don't mind throwing less.
Yeah, peel's fine.
Yeah. I like this. He's kind of thinking draw side by side, but if it ever over curls, it's a nose run to line 2 behind the guard. Like.
Right, let's make this.
It's pretty thin.
Yeah.
So the guys pretty much described everything we were seeing here, and they're looking to hit this one a quarter stone on the side where the brush is, hit it thin, take the red guard off, come into the house and remove the red from the 10 o'clock position as we look at the house just now. And Craig had a very valid point. The reason for doing that is if he tries to draw around, it's a relatively short run back for the Czech Republic to drive the guard back onto the 2 yellows. Wow. That was a little bit fortuitous. He just missed that yellow by a fraction, a little bit tight away.
Yeah. Tighter than they expected. Showing a bit of frustration, but I think he's probably justified on that occasion. So, didn't drastically improve the situation was his problem here. He's opened up the yellow stone.
I don't think there was much wrong with the call. It was a good enough call. It was just the execution of the shot wasn't what he was hoping for. He had to hit it about one inch of that target stone.
That's what Robin said. They had to hit it very thin to achieve all the things they were trying to get out of that stone.
Lucas Klima's skip of the Czech Republic team, his first shot at the 4th end, leading by 3 shots to 2 at the moment.
Looking just to remove the one Scots counter.
Oof. I was about to say, I think he's missed it. Well,
there was some gasp and sighs halfway down, David. I think you're right. I think they thought they had just leant on it, squared it back a touch, maybe just not going to get the shot stone, but enough curl just at the end to save his skin.
I suspect 3 metres from the target shot he was missing that altogether. It just drew enough in the last few metres to make contact.
Speed's good, yeah. It's probably that couple of feet down the first end, just to get a nice speed.
So Robin's going to try the out-turn draw, freeze on to the red one behind the tee line here. You can see by the amount of ice they're taking here, there's a good 5 feet of curling ice,
Narrow.
which is Paul Martin's target.
Yep.
7.
Stay close.
So they've called out the numbers. That's going to be back of the top of the 4 foot, top of the 1 foot. Over to the sweepers now, just to get this absolutely frozen on.
Trying to keep it straight, Alan. It's starting to curl a lot.
Yeah. Pretty good weight. Just as you said, over curled that last 10 metres of running again.
I'd agree with Craig Waddell's sentiments there. It was a good effort. It's not perfect, but it's a pretty good shot.
Interesting to see what weight Lucas Klima plays at this one. He can make it difficult for Robin by corner freezing on it. He can come down, maybe bump it back and lie the second shot, but might leave a double.
Co se ti líbí víc?
Tohle je dobrý.
OK. Takže nějaký 14-7.
Bude to freeze. Když bude malej tap, tak může být malej tap. On stojí 1. Ale je docela hluboko, je jako skoro plná 7.
This is an opportunity, Alan. There's two schools of thought here. You come down and make a corner freezing it. It's very hard for Robin to score one. You also come down and just tap the yellow back. 10 centimetres, 4 inches, you lie 2.
Yeah, I think that's what they've called is the small tap back. Reduce Robin's target area.
But as we've said a few times in commentary, the risk here is if you're a little heavy and you bounce off it instead of a double, it could be a straightforward double for 2 shots.
Yeah. I think he's thrown it on the right side here. He's not going to be overly big.
He's working it hard, he's got a pretty good line if they can touch the yellow back. Just short, no more. Not bad, made it a tough shot. So this is Robin Brydone's final shot of the fourth end.
I'd rather take more because we can get shot here.
Draws the button for 2 to lead.
Like that.
He's currently 3 shots to 2 down.
It might be just faster. Because this is now almost draw the bottom line. Whereas the first one
Not an easy draw, Alan.
Same split.
No, I mean Robin was quite right to point out that he's got all of the 1 foot. He doesn't need to be touching the centre cross in the middle there. He's got everything to the left of that as well. So they've taken maybe a fraction more ice than just a straight draw to the button, just because he's got that extra margin for error over there.
Boys just reconfirming the speed of the ice to the skip. This is why it's a team game. Robin has to throw this, but after he lets it go, there's nothing he can do. But Derek Sloan and Gregor Cannon would have control over the speed.
So Supers have called that they think it's maybe just a fraction heavy, so now it's just a line call. See what you can get out of the situation, if you can get a rub off something or just a cold draw.
Looks pretty good.
He's got the red backing, he can take a chip. Yeah, that was a really good early call by Gregor Cannon, I think it was on that one, to say that they thought that was a touch heavy.
Yep, fantastic shot by Robin Brydone. Yellow score 2 to lead by 4 shots to 3 at the halfway stage in the game, and take the lead for the first time, having trailed since the first end. So Team Brydone will be delighted with that.
Yeah, that's 2 good ends that Scotland team have put together there. Just crank the pressure a little bit up on the Czech team.
I thought we were lighter than we were there.
Previous end, Lucas Klima had a fantastic draw against 2, and this time Robin Brydone makes his big draw shot for her 2.
Boys, put the pressure on. Middle 2s for
This could have been I knew you were line only, but I didn't know if
I have to say, I think the Team Brydone, Robin Brydone's Scottish team, have had the overall slightly more control of the game. Czech Republic are just hanging in there no more. This is a big end coming up here at the 5th end.
Yeah, I think Robin's team feel they've kind of got the upper hand at the moment. They just said, let's keep the pressure on through the middle of the rink, get some mistakes, and then leave Lucas Klima tough shots to finish.
And the way to keep the pressure on in curling is all about stone placement.
Alright boys, keep going. Okay.
They'll not be happy with that. It's too far short. Should have been up within half a metre of the house and on the centre line, so it's just lighter weight. Can Samuel Mockrish put some pressure on by getting his out turn draw round in the right place?
Co za ten žlutej?
Nevím, co k tomu říct, no. Nechte ho vedle něj, wow.
Boys working it hard, but it's lighter weight. Line was good.
Yeah. Robin will be licking his lips at that one.
The basic principles of the game, Al, when you've got last stone, you want to keep the centre open. When you don't have last stone, which Brydone doesn't. You want to get as much in the centre as you can to make it difficult for the
Not through it, really.
team with last stone to score multiple points.
Well, Les, got room. Room. Plenty room.
4, 5.
Loads of room.
5. 5.
Yeah, you gotta go, Craig. You gotta go.
So down the same line as you
5.
played
Really
end 3
6.
previously. It hangs out a little bit and then really cuts in at the end. Nice throw there by Derek Sloan.
I think we would have got there. You didn't have to kill it early.
Yeah.
Yep, got a bit of cover, but not enough to prevent the Czech Republic from playing a tap back on this one if they get this right.
Killed there a little bit.
Samuel Mokrish's second stone at the 5th end.
Bord. Ne. Ne. Není to bord.
Got a long way to curl.
Malinko víc. Explos.
Passes the guard by
Yeah, I think it's
20 centimetres.
maybe a touch heavier than expected. I think the sweeper's reaction was a touch exaggerated. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, he was just trying to get a little bit of a half stone roll in behind the red and the yellow, and because he was a little heavier, it didn't, and he wouldn't be worried if that yellow had stayed in the back rings.
Yep. Chance here for Gregor Cannon to play a similar called shot. Take this one out and roll in behind the double cover. They both said it's a bit short though.
Oh, wow. Tight.
Yeah, Gregor was disappointed with that. That was a little bit light and tight.
Tak. Lukáše jste tady jednou zametli 14-7. Že by to mělo fungovat hezky.
25-year-old Marek Chernovsky trying to play the in-turn or the clockwise rotation to draw in behind the guards.
Uším! Uším! Tak jo! Směr je fajn!
Got a good line if he's got the weight.
Dál! Jenom dál!
Interesting call. I thought I wouldn't necessarily have tried to come down the same line, but
yeah, took a bit of a gamble there. I think that's not a great shot.
Probably this, eh?
I think if you got the line right there, Alan would be pretty good. He would come in,
come around the back of it.
Yeah, he could have come around the back or tapped it up, but he was just a bit light.
Yeah, I think I might have been trying to come around the outside of the other yellow.
Probably almost makes the corner guard as well, eh? Probably almost going to that yellow.
Scots boys just discussing the options they have here. Decided to play a clearing shot, trying to move some of the guards out front.
Whoa!
Cuddle.
Not great. He was trying to drive the yellow back onto the reds.
8-9. Tohle je podle mě nejrychlejší stopas minimálně tam. Jezdilo to tam rychle, jezdilo to tam rychle tobě.
So Lucas Klima just asking Marek to
podle mě, když hodím teďka to samý, tak bude mnohem dál.
play the in-turn draw to the wing to lie 2.
Yep, keep the stones well separated.
Lepší release.
It's important he gets this one at least to the tee line or just behind the tee line to stop Robin Brydone playing hit and roll behind the reds. Super's pretty happy with it.
Yeah,
just
looks
keeping
good
it
for
clean.
weight. They're just trying to
Já
get the stone to curl as far away from the other counting redstone as they can without nicely taking it through the rings. So just accomplished, well done.
The important thing is, Alan, if you don't put it behind the tee line there, Scotland knows hit, and then the Czech Republic knows hit, all of a sudden you're out of the scoring position, or it makes it easy for them to hit and roll across behind. So that was a really good shot.
Yep, back quadrant there was a pretty good shot, wasn't it? Well positioned.
A bit fresh.
Throwing control.
Yeah.
However, I'm not sure that this is adding an awful lot to Robin's position in this end by hitting that one.
Craig Waddle being asked for the hit on the back stone here. Basically what he's trying to do here is he's going to try and restrict the Czech team to 2 at worst, and if they make one mistake then he'll be a chance to hold them to 1.
No, it was pretty close. It's quite a good result, actually.
I think you've got to chase that one, as I say, Alan. You can't really leave that lying there just in case.
Yeah, possibly. I thought he might be trying to use something on the front left red there. There was a big target behind it to open up. He might have got some damage behind it, but yeah, I can see the point there as well, David. Especially if he gets a mistake.
Yeah.
From this one.
Nice controlled weight. Just playing a hack weight or bumper weight just to move it back.
Same way.
Okay, weight was good
That was
last
just
time.
nice control.
Yeah, I just don't think I get properly through it.
Yeah.
I think if I slide the same, just get through it.
Craig Waddle's second shot. This is the
Weight's good.
5th end.
Here more.
Wants to just make a take out on this. Won't be worried if he rolls too far. He's quite happy to hit it in the nose here.
Yep, just a small roll out.
Right.
Change of tactics here, thinking that might be a chance to build more than a 2 if he could get the perfect freeze on that back yellow one.
Good call.
I think it was soft for the first one. And then got through that one, it ran a lot better.
Chest.
David!
Osum,
Gary
7.
Sandra's
Sorry dál.
in-turn freeze.
9 s metením.
Could curl too much here.
Už tam jsem skoro.
Wait.
Going to hold it with the brushes.
I think the weight's very good, but he's just going to overcurl. So he's not got the perfect freeze.
Fine. Dobrý.
Stačí, ne?
Stačí.
Main objective was to lie 2 and he's done that.
Just got to make sure we keep it.
He hasn't put the pressure on though. It's a relatively easy
Probably rolling, trying to get
shot here.
Probably better.
Control it that.
Yeah, because he's always going to play there. Freeze.
Be careful he doesn't leave a yellow nest of stones at the back now. That wouldn't help his position. That hit and run might be as
Control.
simple as anything here.
Shot if we can. It's pretty tough to roll for shot, but
Right. Let's just make sure the red one goes away.
Craig was so nice weight there.
Front end, Derek Sloan and Gregor Cannon are good every time he comes back to hack to make a shot. Robin there
Here more.
reassuring him that he's doing the right thing
No,
and that
wait,
he's
good.
playing the right shot and just confirming the weights.
Hard to get the red there.
Right to it!
Hard,
This is
Derek.
a real tight line this time.
Keep going, keep going.
Good sweep.
Good sweep.
Now, 3 shots to come in the end. Brydone leads the game by 1 at 4-3.
Jo, protože já můžu hrát sem.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Pak hraje tady přede mě. A když udělá chybu,
Like
jdeme za 3.
Like the fact that he's prepared to attack a bit here.
Hele, kluci!
Being a bit older, Alan, I would just put one word of caution here because he comes down here and just slips behind the tee or on the tee. Robin Brydone comes down and freezes it. It's a big get out for Brydone. He could end up.
Já vím, hodíme to
That's, to me, that's a big gamble. I'd be quite happy going back and trying to freeze that yellow again.
Navíc tady on, když to rozbije, já nevím, jestli ten split je hratelný nebo ne.
If you don't get hidden properly, he takes a double. If you slip a yard too far, he freezes against you.
Yep.
Even if you play the absolutely perfect shot and Brydone comes down on top of you, he might force you just to
Yeah, it's
take
cutting
one.
down to a 1, isn't it?
That's a sign of old age.
Wisdom.
That'll be a pretty fine line between wisdom and old age then.
A za ty gardy jsme hrávali odsáď, s tím, že to bylo na centerline, vej, skoro.
A bych se skoro nebál půl.
A bych tím bádem byl tohle.
Okay.
There's enough curl and ice here. You could get past that red that's on top of the 8 foot, the white circle, and be at least half 3/4 hidden before it actually gets to the tee line. And I'm not saying it's a bad call, I'm just saying if you're looking for risk and reward, make a freeze onto that yellow. You should be able to guarantee you 2 that way.
If he came up a fraction short but on the same line, possibility there, Robin would maybe have to chase that to try and only lose a 2.
Or just draws right round behind it.
Or he goes the brave shot and goes right behind it. Which I think Robin, knowing Robin a little bit, I think that's a call that he'd be quite happy to make.
So Lucas Klima making his first shot here at the 5th end. 27-year-old lawyer from Prague. A very good draw. 2 ends ago going down here. Needs a big one here now.
Samuel!
Need to get the weight and the line perfect here.
Liking the line at the moment, so it's all down to weight.
Doesn't want to slip behind the tee. Very good shot, Alan.
Yes, he went with his gut instinct in that one, I think, and played a pretty nice shot there. He's put pressure on Robin. He'll probably try and come down. You can see him tapping in front of the red. He's going to just try and maybe come and freeze on that one, and ask Lucas to draw the 4-foot for his 2.
As long as we sit here, he's got to make a shot.
Yeah, but if you're there, he's got a hack waiter for 3. Let's just get that each way.
Like that. I think that's close.
I think that's. Well, what would we take for button?
I haven't really played this side, we played everything down the other side, so.
Okay, so we're going with this?
Yep.
Okay, let's make it. Speed should be good.
Yeah, it's the same as he threw coming this way, the same spot.
Well, he's trying to play the out turn, freeze to the red. Let's see what the front end say now.
6 feet off.
No, speed the same.
Same speed.
I got 14.5 both times for him this end, last end, so same spot.
Same speed.
Yeah, you got it, mate.
So the weight's not changed, Alan. They're still saying 14.5 seconds for the tee high draw. Robin Brydone's final stone for him. And this is the 5th end. Leads 4 shots to 3. Lucas Klima has 1 to come after this.
Wait only. Room! Line's perfect.
Line looks good.
No bounce. No bounce. No bounce.
Here comes the late swing now. Here comes the late swing. I think they've played a pretty good shot.
Oh.
Shot.
Good. Really good.
Couldn't do any better than that. That was the best he could do in the situation.
Good job doing it.
Yep.
It's nearly a deep space.
And that's why I wasn't keen on that shot from Klima with his first one. It looked good, but really he's now left himself a tough shot to score 2. They're having a look to play hit a half of the red stone the left hand side onto the red on top of the 8 foot and chip the yellow across the face to potentially score 3.
Fine.
Going to go for it.
Berem v zásadě na Dčku, ne?
So
Aby jsme se ťukali malinko sem.
just off the nose on the right hand side, on Chernovsky's right hand side. Push the object stone towards the red at 1 o'clock in the white circle.
A to je v pohodě, to už si uřídím. 9. Okay.
Big call.
It's a big call to get them both to stick.
It's trying to hold this red stone.
As we saw from the overhead, it's not a direct straight line, so there's going to be movement.
Next to Yari's brush here, this is difficult to hold the red shooter. I still think it's tough for 3. 2 is quite possible. In-turn controlled weight.
Whoa.
Wants it to curl a bit. It's not far away. Very close, in fact. Beautiful shot. Very well played, and he scores 3 points.
Excellent shot. That the worrying one was the one that ended up just outside the 8-foot circle, but they did well to hold that. It was a nice controlled weight. Good set of combinations and an excellent shot for his 3.
Great confidence from the skip. Called the brave shot was first one and played a fantastic shot with the second one. So we can see there, Team Klima from Prague lead Team Brydone from Perth, Scotland by 6 shots to 4 after 5 ends of play. I think the highlight for me of that last shot, Alan, was the way that Klima played it. He played with a nice controlled weight. He was never in too much danger. Watch this in-turn release. Good release, positive towards the brush. The boys are saying the weight's just up a little bit, but he just catches it absolutely perfectly. Red onto yellow, and the raised shot just spins in here at the end to count 3 shots.
Yep, the secret to that shot was the weight control. I think a lot of teams would have hit that pretty hard and would have had no control over one of the combination stones.
So the lead's been swinging back and forward.
Já se bojím, že je málo. Pojď.
3 ends of play to go. Brydone has the last stone advantage, playing the 6th end, but he trails by 2 shots.
5-3.
Asking Derek Sloan for the in-turn corner guard.
Line's close. Line's close.
Robin, talk to us.
Line's good.
Craig Waddle telling us, Skip, Rod and Brydone, keep talking to us, tell us where the stone's going. Not easy as a super to get the line right. You can get the weight right, but you've got to try and get the line right as well.
Chest. Má větší ruka.
Místo 7, fajn.
Místo mám. Jenom váš.
Jenom dílka, místo
7-8.
Vypadá velký.
Místa hodně.
Malinko víc, malinko větší.
Plus.
Je jiná stopa. 6.
Jenom dílka.
Můžeš, Jiří, můžeš. Určitě můžeš.
Ne.
Fajn. Super.
Lepší kámen.
Nice shot.
Yep, 2 excellent shots by Samuel Morkris there to get the end underway. Derek Sloan, corner guard, is quite short as well, so Czech Stone's in a good position at the moment.
It's too far short, the corner guard there, Alan. You know, the sort of curl that's on the ice here, you almost play a barrier weight or bumper weight around that to take a shot out, so it's not actually helping him much.
3.
Yep. Gregors. Come on, boys, hard. Line's really good, Craig.
Never just leave it short. It's going to be on the end of it.
Craig Waddle's absolutely right there. That wasn't really going to hide there. They've ended up sweeping it, bringing it into the house, which means that the Czech Republic can make a takeout shot on it. If they left that even a millimetre short of the rings, the Czech Republic can't remove it from play. So a little bit of a tactical error there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marek Chernovsky, it looks like he's tied a line.
Yeah, he was up out his slide early on that one as well. I think he knew as soon as he let that one go that was not at the brush. So in actual fact, whilst we didn't think that yellow guard was too threatening, it's actually done a bit of its job.
Marek made it look threatening. Wasn't actually in play.
Maybe he forgot the new 5 rock rule. So what he's done is he's peeled off the corner guard. Under the new rules, that one gets replaced. His runner gets taken off.
First thought was something like that.
And Scotland now have one in behind that cover.
I think
Like
so.
that. Yeah, let's make it.
Fire.
Yeah, that nice barrier.
The reason for the free guard zone, Alan, is to make the game a bit more exciting and get more stones involved in the actual ends, because before, when you could remove stones anytime you wanted, it left for a fairly boring game if the one team got a jump and got ahead.
Yep, absolutely. In the age of television, I think it was vital that the rules were tweaked slightly and then tweaked again slightly at the beginning of this season to bring another guard in play. Make for more exciting combination shots, long raises, and a load more stones in play.
It makes it very hard to defend a lead. You're almost as well, attack's the best form of defence, as they say in a lot of sports, and probably in curling now it is. Anyway, can Marek right the wrongs of his last shot? Playing the in-turn takeout. Almost.
Yep.
Advantage Brydone.
I think so. He's got now a chance to
Same
just
weight, same time. Or?
take a bit of weight off this one,
Yeah,
get
I like this, I think.
pump
Play
the red
this
one
out,
through,
yeah.
tap in behind, like he says there.
Gregor Cannons.
Same way.
Second shot at the sixth end.
Hard. Yep. All the way. Gotta go.
Derek
Really
Sloan
gotta
working
go.
hard
Come
to try
on.
and keep it straight.
Hold it.
Alan, I'd be disappointed if you did that in the Wednesday night league.
It's been done.
No, that really was not a good shot.
No,
at the
that
stage
was
in the game.
that
It
was a real
poor.
let-off for the Czech team there. There was he could have hit that really anywhere to lie the two, which is what he's looking for, to tie the game, and to leave the red in the rings is an awful result for him.
Fine.
Get me at ball.
Yarisandra
Yep.
trying to play red onto yellow and roll a shooter into the house.
Mám něco dělat?
Ne, Marku, ten rol je dlouhý sám od sebe.
Mission accomplished. Nice throw.
But there are some corners.
Quite impressed by the weight control the boys from the Czech Republic. They don't overthrow the weights, just play a nice controlled weight for all their takeout shots. And
Draw.
if you play that shot he played there just now with a lot of weight on it, it's very hard to hold the shooter in play, whereas
I think so.
playing that
Go back
controlled
to
weight,
it then.
you can
Yeah.
manage the stones better.
Yeah, I think generally the European teams do play those downweight shots more often. Keep stones in play.
Across the middle.
Smooth, yes, touch weight.
They do now.
Keep your hair
It wasn't
slower.
something they did a number of years ago, but when you see
Yeah.
our top Scottish
Even
teams,
20, I think.
Bruce Mowat, Patterson, the Muirhead rink, they all play that controlled weight. Craig Waddell's first stone
Thought it was minimum weight.
5,
at the sixth end,
Just wait.
6, 7,
trying to play the in-turn draw around here.
6,
Close.
6.
He's got
I
some
know,
corner
mate.
guards to
Yep.
come round. He's got one at the back ring he can come to.
Gregor.
Passing the top guard
Feel like
by
release.
Hard,
It's all
Gregor.
about distance now.
quite a lot of
Hard,
room.
Gregor.
Hard,
Gregor, go.
Good sweep. Good, Craig.
Craig.
Nice shot. Got a nice
Víš, za nima.
draw in behind. It's going to jam on the back one when he taps it back, but it won't matter. He would still lie two if he tapped it back onto that.
Yeah, I think he's got room to tap it to lie the two. Yeah, yeah, definitely there now.
The point you made earlier on, Alan's valid here, that he's got the, although Robin's not lying particularly well, it's all behind the corner, so it leaves the centre open.
Pojď, Juko, pojď, Juko.
Fine, okay. Chest.
Pojď,
Needs all the weight he can to hold it straight.
A vasal,
Starting to curl a fair bit.
Dílka je dobrá.
Well, that's an excellent sweep from the boys there. Did it just get a touch on that one?
Potřebuji držet úhel.
Good shot, very good shot.
Já jenom, že jsem tu dílku viděl delší.
It's always difficult when you haven't got the last stone coming around the corner guards. If you bounce off them at all, give your opponent a chance to either hit and check in or hit and roll to the opposite side, and it puts you under a lot of pressure. It's vital that you get these come around freezes perfectly.
More.
7.
Yep, line. Yep.
7.
Yep.
Totally gone.
Hard line.
23-year-old Craig Waddle.
Gotta go.
Thinks this one started to pull early on him.
I think it's partly due to the weight, it's not heavy. Yeah, just front ring weight, and that was the problem there. It just.
Fuck's sake.
Poor shot. Had the weight in his first one. There's no excuse at this stage in the game to, you know, he took 12 feet off that because the boys swept it all the way to get it that far.
Ve chvíli, kdy Lukáš začal říkat, že i směr, tak jsem si říkal, to je dobrý, to nepřijde ten.
Maličko z Jiřího strany, před něj, a je to jako dílka 6. Může být i 5-6.
Přišlo mi, že když se to dostane za centerline, takže to pak jde.
Ano, tam jde o to, že vlastně jde o to, kdy se dostane na centerline. Ale mám o trošku víc ledu než ty.
Jo, nevím.
A za nějakých 14-3 do těch
14
Lucas trying to just cover that line in, play trying to get on maybe the top of the 8 foot.
14,5.
Block Robin's draw in. Robin will be thinking he's only going to get a 1 out of this end, which he'll be disappointed with.
And that'll be Lucas's main aim. He's not worried if Robin scores 1 out to give him the hammer back, but he's doesn't want to give him any more than that if he can help it. And he's certainly lying in a good place just now. They're working hard for both the line and the weight here, Alan. It's a little bit short.
Coming up short, I think, yeah.
Tady to nefunguje.
Giving Brydone a chance now to play the in-turn freeze onto the Czech Republic stone.
Right, a good throw. I think probably get away with that.
As you said earlier, David, just trying to get 3 good stones in a row from the teams at the moment. There's hardly anybody stringing a series of good throws together.
Just weld it.
I think you throw the same, Robin.
Okay.
Might be a couple feet slower, but we've not been in anything the whole way, so. Piece of the 4 foot, really, yeah? Need some 4 foot.
T-line scores.
Got it.
Great line there from Derek Sloan, just reassuring his skip. Look, there's nothing wrong with the weight. The weight's the same as it was. These last 2 guys just both under through it. It's so important to get that because the skip, you're standing,
5.
you know, at the other end of ice. You're beginning to wonder yourself, is it getting slower or is there a problem with ice? But his front end guys have been.
2.
I think that was just light out of hand.
Yeah, I think so. They were
both swept straight away.
Just lose bit soft.
Unless it picked up a bit of debris on ice, or
Gregor seemed to think he was just a touch soft with his actual release. So on this ice, at this time of night, maybe in particular, that would just begin to go into the ice. Has had a long day.
Yeah, it's what we call a soft release. He may have been sliding at the brush, but as it came out of his hand, he turned it from left to right straight away. And if you're light of weight and you have a soft release, it's a bad combination.
Chance to make this difficult for Robin here. I think he'd be looking to kind of cover the centre tape, maybe in the 8 foot circle.
You know this time, it wouldn't be daft if he came right down and froze on top of that red and said to Brydone, you better hit the 4 foot or you're going 4 down.
Yep.
There's no risk. He can't really set up a double this time because the red's going to lock it on to the yellow. In-turn draw. Final stone of the 6th end for Lucas Klima. Oh, it's heavy. Slipping right back. Doesn't really change a huge amount.
There.
He's given Brydone the chance of this double. It's pretty flat. It's not.
Yeah, that double wasn't there until that one slipped by, I guess. But he's
Half's close, eh?
Half. Edging on thick half. It's like that for it.
Boys are saying half, but I tell you what, it's.
Half thick, half's close.
I think it has to be a bit more than half.
yeah, half to me looks like it would maybe come to the yellow one first, David.
I think that's exactly what I was thinking, Alan, as well. The angle is good for that, but. So, Robin Brydone, out-turn double attempt with his last stone at the 6th end. Got big weight. Oh.
Well, that's a result.
Wow. That certainly wasn't what he was going for, but it was always one of the options, I guess. They'll be wishing they swept the Czech Republic stone right back now, the Czech boys, leaving it there for round the houses and back up again.
The middle's getting soft, so if you can make him play a draw.
An opportunity miss for Brydone. Bang, bang, and ricochets off his own yellow stone to fall back into play. I think you'd have to say that was rather fortuitous.
Yeah, I think you called it halfway down, Dave. You thought it was maybe a bit heavy for the shot called. You said it didn't curl as much. Hit the first stone too thinly.
And the outcome anyway, Alan, is that
I think he's a hair slower
Lucas
than the start,
Klima
so a couple of feet on,
forces the one and
no.
gets the hammer back in the 7th end. It one up. 2 ends of play to go.
Yep, Czech team in a strong position, but as we've seen before, games can change if the Leeds get their good stones in play here.
Go for one.
One then. Craig, if you can. Alright, boys, get over. Alright, Craig.
Well, that was hard work.
Almost extending and then killing it at the same time.
He just doesn't. It's just a.
It's in play, but it's certainly not where he wanted it.
No, that's a non-pressurising shot by Derek Sloan there.
You're watching live coverage of the 2019 Mercure City of Perth Masters, coming to you live from the Jurors Centre in Perth, Scotland. I'm David Hay and I'm joined by Alan Chalmers this evening in the commentary box. First round of play. Robin Brydone from Perth, Scotland against Lucas Klima from Prague in the Czech Republic. Czech Republic lead by 6 shots to 5 with the last stone playing the 7th end.
Yep, we need, from a Scottish perspective, we need 15 more good shots, I think, and put a little bit of pressure on the Czech team. They're not impregnable, I don't think. By no means a mission impossible yet for the Scotland team.
Yep.
Good, Craig. It's totally
good recovery.
Yep, good setup.
It's like
one long, one short. Both in a line. Makes it very difficult to remove the guards for the when it gets to the 6th stone of the end.
Yep. 3.
Czech boys have played 20 games this year on the World Curling Tour. Won 11 and lost 9, so just better than 50%. Not a great record, really.
Yep, they had a trip to Shanghai early in the season. They did well. They got to the final before losing to Matt Dunstan from Canada, beating our own Glen Muirhead team along the way in the semi-final. So developing nicely as a team.
Currently sitting at 110 in the world, so a good result here would move them up a lot of places.
Line's really good.
Yep.
Okay, Gregor Cannon playing the in-turn draw around the 3 guards.
Craig, stop button.
Got a good line, this will curl a lot from here in.
Try to avoid going too deep.
Good.
Nicely done there, left
Great
it
shot.
in front of the tee.
That's a really nice throw.
Yep,
That's a really good throw.
we agree with you, Craig.
So much better than the rest.
Marek Chernovsky trying to open up the front again, remove some of the guards.
Okay, okay.
It's a little bit of cat and mouse here, I think.
Ja, jsem jenom hloupý.
Brydone team will keep guarding. Klima team will keep peeling.
Všechno je krátký a docela o hodně.
Just one.
Just over and up.
If both teams play 100% from here on in, it'll leave
Over and
Lucas
up.
Klima with an
Really good.
out-turn draw to the bottom with his last one, which
Over and
won't
up,
be
line's
easy.
perfect.
Nope.
Over and up.
We're over.
One. Whoa.
Fine.
Just over curled if we're being a little bit picky.
Yep, has gone too far, and by over curling, it's given him the angle to drive the yellow stone where his brush is onto the left-hand side of the reds and lift all 3 guards with one shot here. Not easy, but it's the opportunity is there.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Never mind.
Got one. Oh, just misses the second one. Wasn't far away. But that's what happens, Alan, if you don't get them in a straight line.
Yep, you can see how close that was to lifting more than the one guard there. You've got to get these lines right, especially with that red and yellow being
It was
so
a nice
close.
ad, like. It was a decent ad still.
It's a bit slower, eh?
Yeah, because we had to move that over.
Robin Bryan again wanting to play the in-turn guard. Craig Waddell's first shot at the 7th end.
Clear.
One. There you go.
Get over. Hard.
Having to work it hard for weight here.
Yep.
Let's get across the blue line to be in play.
Is he going to get the line because of that? Oh, well swept.
Well, the problem now is that he's left this open at this side now, and an out-turn double on this one clears them both out. We've said it a few times, Alan, that both teams just really struggle to get 8 shots strung together on the same end, and that's been the Achilles heel for both sides during
both
the game.
teams, yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa.
Well, that was a really bad sweep.
Okay.
Top 12.
I think everything should have gone there.
12.
That was a poor shot. Putting pressure on themselves now, the Czech Republic, by
Even 8.
Tight's not the end of the world though.
not executing the big shots or the simple shots properly. The old saying, Alan, if you don't like playing the tough shots, make the simple ones. It saves you the bother.
That's fucking thick.
Craig Waddell trying to play an out-turn guard here.
Line's good.
Centre guard, I think.
Craig seems to think that one maybe
Yep.
picked up as he was sliding out. There was a strange handle release on that one.
Derek,
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 Derek.
And obviously, apologies for any bad language you may have picked up on that one.
Keep going. Whoa.
That's not the end of the world.
Very fortuitous, I would say. It was usually on a pickup it can end up in the middle of nowhere, but he's got a good result out of that.
Všecko.
Yari Chandra
Just ball.
Yep.
trying to make a double on the guards this time.
Whoa, whoa.
Good shot.
That's a better result.
Yep.
Nicer throw, I think.
Very well played.
We play this out turn again.
That just goes positive in this because it is slow. It is going flat in these spots.
Okay.
I think right.
Robin Brydone
Just short the rings.
Yeah.
trying to throw a guard up here.
It's a lot slower here.
A lot slower.
So you're in the
I'm
sort of
thinking-
flat stuff all the way, like.
I'm thinking we're 8 to 10 feet slower.
Yeah.
So I throw the same for what we're throwing for T-line.
Yeah, I think
Should
so.
be pretty close.
With a nice release.
Okay, well the sweepers have spotted an irregularity just on the track, so they've told Robin it's 8 to 10 feet slower than it was previously.
Weight's good.
It's quite an adjustment.
Good.
Yeah, and that happens because the ice is sprayed with a pebble at the start of the game, a spray of water on top of it for the stones to run on.
Line's okay.
By this stage in the game, with all the play down the centre
Three.
and the sweeping, it can slow up a bit.
No, I don't think it's me, is it? Oh, free touch.
Yep,
Yep.
Robin's adjusted well.
Yep.
good.
Good.
Perfect shot.
Good.
See if they give him a time.
Já si myslím, že hackne, že bude rančím menší. Samozřejmě hrozí, že udělám tohle, jo? A nechám mu dovnitř, ale já bych to hrál jenom nějakým jako, jenom jako takhle bych to hrál.
Jo, V zóna. Takže ty bys chtěl vyloženě ještě ťukat.
Já bych chtěl udělat tohle, no.
So Lucas and Jari just discussing here
Jako
the
tím hackem
options they
zahraju
have.
nejlíp
They're
tohle.
wanting to play a tap back on the yellow stone that's lying the centre of the house.
A nebo můžu dát ten rán, no.
Yeah, that's a good call. He's obviously going to try and open up his target area.
Můžu taky, no.
They're one up in the game.
Počkej, myslíš, že tolik ledu na tu backline, no?
Na backlineu asi ne, na backlineu to bude takhle.
It's not ideal losing a 1 necessarily at this point, but it would at least give him the control of a hammer down the 8th if it was to go wrong.
Já se ještě kouknu, že vypadá z druhé strany,
Ideally
ale-
wants to try and score a 2 if he can, but it's not going to be easy doing that from here. But there's enough curl on this ice. You could come back and tap the yellow to the back of the 8 foot and roll in behind the
Já bych
guard
tam
and make it
jako už to
give yourself a
posouval.
chance to do that.
Na komoru nějakou backlineou zadním pruhem.
Dobře. Souhlasím, že potřebujeme něco do kruhu.
No.
And depending on the way he throws, Alan, you wouldn't have to get too close to the guard to do that. You could pass the guard by 4 or 5 centimetres and still make the hit and roll. There's so much curl at the,
Yeah, I
at the
think so.
finish.
Just enough reaction off the stones as well.
Kolik je backline? 13 třeba už?
No, mohla by být. Jo. Okay.
Here he goes, Lucas Klima. First shot, the 7th end.
9, 6,
Nejde, easy.
sběr fajn. 4.
Has to get past the guard at the front.
Jo, málo místa, jo. Same jo, není vílka.
Looks really
Hodně málo
tight for
místa.
line from here,
Není
Alan.
krok.
Very tight, very light, I think, as well.
Yep.
Tak wow, tak wow. Ty bláho. Jsem teda
Not
neviděl.
even reached that stone.
Poor shot.
Yep. Maybe his sweepers didn't give him the 8 to 10 feet on. Called it. The good Scottish call there.
Quite possibly. Big chance for Brydone here. If he can come round
Yep.
and bite the top of the button on the out turn.
You can be talking, Ewan. You can be talking like 6 feet slower here, maybe.
3 stones to come.
I think so.
Czech Republic have the
Yeah.
Might be a hair quicker here.
last stone of the end.
4 feet on your last.
Yeah.
So 4 feet on.
Yeah, I think if you throw like 4
Two-
feet.
sorry,
top
2
eight
stones
the
to
last,
come.
and if it's quicker, goes top 4.
This is Bryden's last shot of the
Yeah,
end.
mate, not a nice release.
Yep. I think if he can get one in round the stagger guards, maybe just where the lettering of the lettering on the ice.
He wants to come in just almost top of the button, because if you leave the in-turn tap on again,
I think he can go.
4!
Hard!
no, 4's not good for him. That's going to be short of the house if it's 4. Or just front ring.
Just touching the front ring. Having to work this one hard. There he goes. Starting to curl too big, I think, again.
Hard, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep
That's
going.
short.
Keep going, make it so hard.
Has to be short. Yep.
This is soft.
A little bit light out of hand, I think. The boys are sweeping straight away. Now. So the Czech Republic here having a look. They're looking at the possibility of hitting the open yellow stone at the back, as opposed to drawing. The reason for doing that is with ice has got a little bit flatter now, and it's slowing up about 10 feet slower than it was earlier in the game. Sorry. This is a tough shot. If it was me, Alan, I would think about hitting that back one and giving up the one. Tied, keep the hammer coming home.
Yep, I'm with you, David, on that one. There's
hammer being last stone advantage, but
že do toho kecám, není ten píl fakt jednodušší v tuhle chvíli. Vůbec nevíme rychlost.
I suspect that's what these boys are discussing. I'm no expert in the Czech language, but I think they're discussing, is it easier just hitting the back one? Skip's still confident. Oh, he's going to do that, going for the hit.
Yep. The assumption he makes it, I think that's a much better call.
I think that's based on the fact the ice has got a bit slower. He was way short with his attempt with his first shot, making the freeze in there, and perhaps didn't have the confidence to do it. So Scotland score 1.
Yep.
Ties the game. It's 6 shots all after 7 ends of play.
Possibility here that if Derek Sloan puts a centre guard up, then the Czech team might try and tick it this time, just to try and keep the ice as open as possible. A tick shot being where the lead is allowed to touch the stones and move them around, but not necessarily out of play. Hopefully opening up paths to the forefoot for later on in the end. Possibility. Whether they've got the skills to do it, I don't know, but that's a reasonable tactic to consider, I think, here.
Yeah, no, it'd be a good shot if he can make it. He's got to do it twice.
Need a wee extra rate for loads of time, so
I'm leading a fight tonight, regardless. We'll win.
So, couldn't be closer, Alan. 6 all. Final end of play in regulation time.
Ice long first, I think, is it?
we're going long! Craig early! Craig early!
We're going long!
So they are going to try and set up 2 guards.
Go over, Carl.
This is going to be what they call the long guard.
Over, Carl. Just over now.
Long guard just being over the hog line.
Just over the line, yep. Worried that it's slightly narrow. It's going to overcurl a touch, but pretty good.
Good shot.
Yep. He's asked for the hack weight tick shot.
So just wants to hit about 2 centimetres of the stone and chip it to the side. Hits way more than that. And if it goes right through the rings where it looks like it is, it'll be replaced. So it's called the free guard zone. Any stone lying between the blue line, the hog line.
I was touching the line.
That way a wee bit. Yeah. Maybe back a shade.
Yellow stone is replaced to where it was before.
Yeah.
Giving Derek Sloan a chance to put another guard up. So with the match tied at 6 shots all, and this is the final end. If for any reason it was to be a blank end or no shots scored, there'd be 1 additional end or 1 extra end played.
Probably close in post.
Coming now, stay
He's
with
got
it.
plenty of weight this time. Alan needs to slow up.
Craig Waddle thinks it might just be drifting in.
Perfect. Sit.
And he was right.
Good try.
Just perhaps bites the red, no more, I think.
I thought it was perfect.
Very unlucky there.
Yep. However, the one at the front might just catch his eye here. That's always sometimes the way.
Nice shot.
Again, that
Look at that, just spun in at the
nice
end.
little quiet weight again
Yep.
with the handle. Just spun in on its axis just at the last moment.
Not been the highest standard of game overall, Alan, but it's been exciting because both teams have made a number of mistakes to keep the game on a knife edge.
Exactly, back and forward.
Here high.
Never quite known who's going to play well at any particular end, but it's kept the game very interesting.
Been some really good shots. Both skips had 2 exceptionally good draws.
Hard, Derek.
Hard, Derek.
Hard, Derek.
Lucas Klima made a fantastic draw
Keep going,
round
keep
outside
going.
at the third end, I think it was. Yep, third end to score as one, facing 2 shots, and then Robin Brydone replied at the fourth end with a draw to the button for his 2.
Oh, single.
Yep, so just that small error by Derek Sloan just at the beginning of this end. The advantage is with the Czech Republic team at the moment because they're down to single takeouts.
Yeah, Robin Bryan's got to keep throwing up the double guards for the rest of the end and hope with his last one to get a chance to make a draw round.
There now, Craig early. Hard, Craig.
We're never there.
Okay.
Wow, what a mistake, Alan. Gregor Cannon hogs the vital shot there. They had to keep the 2 guards in play. Now if the Czech Republic play a good clearance shot here, Marek Czernovsky makes this peel, it's going to be tough for Brydone to score. They now need a 0% shot at some point from the Klima team to give them a chance.
Yep, especially with that one on the side there. It might not look like it's counting by very much, but that might be the winning stone at the end of the game. Yeah, cardinal error by Gregor there. This time in the match, but they know the ice has been going slow, so really no excuse. But maybe it's slowed further.
Craig Worrell trying to put a centre guard up and hope for an error.
Derek. Derek.
Come on, it's good. Keep going. Keep going. Go. Good sweep, boys. Good. That's right.
Good sweep.
Okay, a bit long, but it's a centre guard. Right now they'll take anything they can get to try and get some protection up front, some cover.
Fine. Yep. Maro.
Pojď.
Well, just made it no more.
Okay.
Zajímavý Bčko.
One more centre, sorry.
Yeah.
We're delighted to bring you today's coverage of the 2019 Mercure Perth Masters Curling from the Dewars Centre in Perth, Scotland. We're proud to be part of the World Curling Tour. Today's coverage is brought to you with the support of the World Curling Federation. An event such as this would not be possible without the support of our title sponsor, the Mercure City Mills Hotel Perth, along with Perth and Kinross Council, Perth Honda, Ernside Coaches, Live Active Leisure, the World Curling Tour and the World Curling Federation.
Oh, well, let them see something different.
Good.
So Craig Worrell throws another centre guard up, Alan, but they're
What are you thinking?
they're going to have to make a decision fairly soon now whether they continue on this strategy or they put one in the house and hope that Klima nose hits it and gives them something to freeze against. Catches one guard, jams the other guard, so now is it worth trying to come in behind here? I think it is.
Yep.
Make a draw shot onto the corner. The theory being, although you're away from the centre of the house, if you can get one in there now, they miss it, put another one in, you're facing 2 your last one, and all of a sudden it becomes a tougher decision what you do.
No, I think that's a good call, David. You've got a chance to get in just for Craig Worrell's brushes around about there. You assume that Lucas will maybe peel off the corner guard.
They threw one to the corner coming this way.
And you draw the other side.
Like, I got a big hog to hog in it, but
I think the tricky thing is now, you know, the boys have been discussing a lot. We've heard in the...
you're in the slow stuff at the
I
start.
don't think it's really any slower, but
Yeah.
Same slides in the last one, just more positive, right?
Yeah, if anything, a couple of feet on the side as well. But
You know, you hear them, they were still talking about speed. It's the same for the Czech Republic boys. If they're left with a draw against 2, that won't be easy. They'll be trying to make sure they have a take-out shot left for the last one.
hot at the moment.
pretty good. It's going down.
8,
7, 6.
6, 7, 8, 8.
Eric, if you can.
Just coming off the maybe stickier stuff onto clean ice here. It's just drifting. It's not totally hidden, I don't think, which might be the problem.
Hard.
Okay.
Not bad.
Pretty good effort.
Si půjdem sem, on půjde sem a my půjdeme sem, no.
Může.
Well, you obviously can't.
Okay.
You can't see it. You can't see it all.
Já ho měl 3-6.
3-7.
Jako trochu si zmenšil
You obviously can't see enough to play a takeout at Al. I'm surprised he's coming in here like this.
Jako hodí něco jiného.
It can only be because he can't see enough of the yellow stone for the guard that's in front. Chernovsky is blocking us. There we go. There's the red stone. No, he can't see much of that. It's pretty well hidden in there.
Yeah, I thought he might come a little bit more running. He can poke it through and then roll his shooter back to the left, and Robin's then got to play a perfect freeze.
Lucas Klima's first shot at this 8th and final end of regulation play.
Váha. Fajn.
Doesn't want to leave this one short.
Vypadá dlouhej. Vypadá hodně dlouhej.
Já mám hodně.
Boys just keeping it clean. They're saying there's plenty of room. It's got a bit of curling to do.
Nemoc.
Looks pretty heavy. Wow.
Okay.
Yellow lies 1. And this is exactly what we talked about.
Where's the best spot?
Robin Brydone can get this shot
Go there.
Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
right there, biting the
Corner's
white.
not in play out there. Like.
And the reason being, if you just up there, is it stops the Czech Republic team hitting it to live first shot.
Take care. Because you can
Well,
roll it
we've
in.
probably not seen this.
I think you got to go up there. That? I like to hear more. I've been given. That's pretty much what I've been given.
I don't mind leaving him this 8-foot draw in this path.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot different than that.
97. Probably stopping it here early.
So a hair off that.
Pretty positive. Just biting the top of the.
Yeah. I
Fully
like
12 is
being
good.
just the right hand side of the line, if anything.
Okay.
Okay, so we've had the
I think
discussion.
better weight's important.
Yeah.
Almost a
Like, I
discussion.
think
We
you're a
just
couple
want
of
like
feet
half
off.
in, don't we?
I think throw for being the same speed. Fully top 12.
Yeah. Fully top. Okay.
Throw for being the same speed.
Robin Brydone from Perth. Final stone of this 8th end for him. One more to come for Czech Republic after this.
Top 12.
Top 8, top 12.
Okay, keep the brushes down.
Try and
though.
get split time on this for you. We knew it was 14.5
Just wait.
earlier in the game
Time doesn't
for
matter.
T high.
Just fully in top 12.
Looks pretty good.
Yep, a wee bit. Yep. Hard, boys.
Oh, they've just lost
Just
that.
left that, I think.
Yep.
They were trying to be too cute with it, I think. Instead of being touching the top of the 8-foot circle, they've left it short.
Ale všude víme, co házet.
So if Lucas was to follow his path of his first shot, he would lie the shot.
Lukáši, takhle.
Risky as that may be,
Yep.
at least it's on a
Yep, bezpečný.
path that he knows the weight for.
Well, he's just got to get full into the red, just touching the white to win the game. Normally you'd say it was a routine shot, Alan, for a skip this amount, but they've all been talking about the difference in the speeds and the weights.
I think the thing that's helping me here is that he can afford to go slightly wider than the centre path. So the ice might just be that little bit crisper still out there.
The challenge being is getting the line when it comes off the dry ice and outside and comes onto the softer stuff in the middle.
So
here we go.
Get on there.
Underway.
Turn.
Fine.
Supers are
Okay,
on it, but not necessarily at full pelt yet. I think it should be good.
13-7 that was. Looks pretty good. Oh, very, very good shot.
Yeah, super draw, well played. Right to the button.
Excellent shot from Lucas Klima. Scores 1 and wins the game by 7 shots to 6. And brings the end of a very exciting first round game against Robin Brydone from Perth, Scotland. Impressed by the Czech Republic boys, Alan. They played a good game. If they can cut out some of the half shots they had, and they could get a good run this week in the competition.
Yeah, I feel they came on to quite a good game in that second half. Certainly cut out a lot of the 0% shots that they were maybe getting through the second, third, fourth end. Toughed that one out and got a good win, and sets them up nicely for the start of the weekend.
Yeah, scoring the big 3 in the 5th end was the real turning point. That was when they got a good jump in the game to re-establish their 2-shot lead. Ice was good. That was Lucas Klima's in-turn hit and roll across. Ron Brydone was left with a relatively straightforward score for 2 in the second end. And this is a really good shot.
Yeah, this is probably the best shot of the match, I think, in terms of the game situation.
Came out just past the wide guard. Sweeping was absolutely perfect. Weight was spot on.
Scotland had controlled that end all the way through and looked likely to score.
This is Robin Brydone's out-turn draw. Had to get into the button here to score 2. Just comes down, touches the top red and rolls onto the button to score a great 2. So 2 excellent draw shots from both skips. Lucas Klima's in turn, angled raise, 1, 2, 3, and rolls the shooter across, the raise stone across to score 3 shots. I think that was probably the shot of the game. That was a huge shot there, big turning point. And then, like all good skips, all he asks his team is to give him a chance to draw to the button to win the game. Supers look after it all the way down here, facing 2 Scottish counters. There's a beautiful out-turn draw to the button for a 7-6 win. An excellent game, very well played.
Yeah, very well controlled by the Czech team. Just once they got the nosies in front, they controlled that the last 3 ends pretty nicely, and as David said, just leave me a path to the forefoot for the win, and played it immaculately.
So on behalf of Alan Chalmers and myself, David Hay, thank you for joining us here in Perth, Scotland, and we look forward to bringing you 3 live games tomorrow from the Perth Masters 2019 event.